I've been thinking about all the different Class B van layouts out there and come to the realization that there are really very few design options available to the Class B buyer. There's only so much space in a cargo van, and this space can't be enlarged or shifted around, so RV designers have limits on what they can do with Class B floor plans. Now, I first approached this with a spreadsheet, go figure, but quickly realized it was just a lot of numbers and it was hard to visualize what a design actually looked like. So instead, I'm looking at the actual layouts of different vans. Please note, I'm using Coachmen, Winnebago, and Embassy layouts for these examples. This is not an endorsement of these brands or a criticism of other brands. These brands make the basic layouts available for Class B RVs, and it was easy to get screenshots. Also, individual models are to scale, but not with other models, even in the same brand. For instance, the 22-foot Coachmen Beyond models have layouts that are to scale with each other, but these layouts are not to scale with the Coachmen Nova models, which are shorter in length, or even with the Winnebago or Embassy brands at all. Finally, I've limited the van builds to 20 feet or more. There are some RVs that are built on other smaller length vans, but their design is essentially the same, just less space dedicated to each area. Now that we have that clear, let's begin. As I said, there's only so much space in a van. You only have about 13 feet or so of usable building space after you subtract the cab area, rear door frames, and the like. A 24-foot van has a few feet more to build on, but not really that much. Remember that a Class B van is built upon a design already completed by other manufacturers, like the Ford Transit or Ram Promaster. So there are limits to what an RV builder can do. For instance, the location of the wheel wells can't be changed, so designers have to work around that, no matter what layout they choose. If there's a spare tire included with the van, a designer may remove it to fit other needs, like bigger water tanks or whatever. What I'm trying to say here is there are always compromises that have to be made in order for the RV design to fit the vans already created in the build. In general, you only have a few areas that you can build upon: a living space, a utility space, and sometimes a separate bathroom space. These areas may be combined with each other, but generally speaking, these are the spaces a designer has to work with. To make one area bigger means another has to be smaller. Are you cooking in your bedroom or sleeping in your kitchen? Is your bathroom in the front of the van with the living space, or in the rear where you sleep? Well, now you know why. Let's look at some layouts and how these areas are separated, beginning with Coachmen and their Beyond series. These are built using the 22-foot long Ford Transit van, so the cab area always uses the same space. There are three models of Beyond: the 22C, the 22D, and the 22RB. Notice you have a fairly large utility area that includes the kitchen and the bathroom in the 22C and 22D layouts. The only real design change is in the rear, the living area. The 22C has a larger rear sofa that turns into a bed, while the 22D has two smaller sofas that turn into beds. The 22RB, on the other hand, changes the layout by separating the bathroom from the rest of the van by placing it in the rear. But this also means it takes up more space, since it's larger, so something has to give. Both the living and utility areas have shrunk in size as compared to the 22C and D. The next example is also from Coachmen, their Nova series of Class B vans. These are on the Ram Promaster vans, so are a couple of feet smaller in length, which makes each space slightly smaller as well. Otherwise, the layouts follow the same pattern as the Beyond, with a 20C, a 20D, and a 20RB. Winnebago makes various Class Bs, but I want to talk a little bit about the Travato. Winnebago has done something slightly different in the Travato G model. Here you see that the bed can fold away on the wall, giving you some space for floor storage or whatever you may need. The bath is right next to the bed, so it takes up space, which makes the bed a little short on width, but you gain some open space for storage. Because of the design of the bed, you get more floor space in the utility area. The front area makes a good living space too. As you know, we have an Embassy RV, specifically the SL. This gives us a good-sized bed in the rear and a smaller living space in the front. Although smaller, the sofa can become a bed, so this design can sit and sleep up to 4 people. The utility area includes the kitchen and the bathroom. The kitchen counter is smaller because of the larger bed in the rear, but the bathroom is the full width of the van, which gives a nice space for showering. You can see to get the sleeping areas for 4, you need to shrink other spaces in the van, most notably the kitchen area. As I said, you can't magically increase the interior length of the 22-foot design of the Ford Transit. The Embassy SS is made for one-person travel, with a single sofa bed in the front. This allows for more storage and for a larger kitchen area. The bath is located in the rear, but otherwise is the same size as the SL. The Dolphin S can be built on 2 different length vans. Their design is the same, with a front living area, a central utility area, and a rear bath. The larger layout allows for more living space, but otherwise, they are identical. Of course, the layout of a van isn't just a floor plan. There is space above and below that layout. You may have storage under a bed, for example, or cabinets above your head, or maybe your AC unit is a split system and inside the van somewhere, taking up interior space. These design elements change the look and feel of the interior of the van. In our Embassy, we have a lot of storage. It goes from floor to ceiling. But those tall cabinets also mean fewer windows to look out of, so it gives us a more enclosed feeling inside. If you want more outdoor views from inside your van, you have to give up something, and that something is usually storage capacity. Which is the better design? There isn't one. It all depends on your needs and the kind of travel you do. We needed sleeping space for at least 3 people in a van that wasn't over 22 feet in length, so our choices were very limited. In the Embassy SS layout, you lose a bed, but it's a good design for 1 person, so that may not really be a sacrifice. If you need sleeping for 2, you have to look at another layout. If you prefer rear seating, you will have to have the bathroom relocated to the middle or front of the van, and if you want 2 separate beds, the twin bed layout is about all you can do. And remember, these designs have their compromises as well. For instance, the refrigerator in the Beyond 22RB is much smaller than their 22C or 22D models. The design just doesn't allow for anything larger. The Winnebago G, in my opinion, is a great design, but is really for 1 person. That rear bed is just a little too tight for 2, and the new G layouts got rid of the puzzle bed in the front, replacing it with 2 chairs with 3-point seatbelts. I really like rear sofa sleepers like Coachmen 22C models, They seem to have a very open feel, but again, they only sleep two. I suppose you could rig something up with the front two seats for one person, but that would be very inconvenient to set up each night, and you couldn't just start driving away in the morning until you put that bed away. You will have different needs, so your layout options will be different. Not better, just different. But whatever you choose, realize that to get that layout, compromises will be made. Be seeing you.